Welcome to Run Free and Strong. I'm Reto. In episode 7 of my UTMB training, I'd like to review the second training block that I completed and share my plans for the third training block. I'm training and hope to qualify for UTMB in 2025. I'll also update my 2024 racing schedule. Good news, I'm back in the saddle again. Following an ambitious first training block, I adjusted my objectives and plans for the second training block to adapt to the training stresses from the prior training block. I also wanted to recover and refresh both physically and mentally. Looking back, the second training block was a maintenance block for me. Before we dive into the weekly review for the second training block, let's take a look at the highlights. I've included training block 1 for comparison, and as the key metrics show, training block 2 is a more modest block. In addition to lower mileage and time on feet, I ran mostly on groomed trails, with about 1/3 the elevation gain compared to the first training block. Nonetheless, I'm satisfied with the total for the 2 initial training blocks, representing 12 weeks, with about 500 miles or 800 kilometers of running, more than 50,000 feet or 16,000 meters of climbing and descending, and 100 hours of time on feet. I'm excited for training block 3, which I'll share in a minute. But first, let's take a closer look at the second training block. I already covered the first 3 weeks in episode 6. For the 4th week, I increased my mileage to 50 miles or 81 kilometers. The weekend comprised an 8-mile technical trail run on Saturday and a 15-mile long run on a groomed trail on Sunday. Also worth mentioning is that I started to incorporate strides after a couple of runs. For the 5th week, I increased my mileage again to 60 miles or 97 kilometers. That's a 50% volume increase from the 3rd week. As mentioned in my video, Destroy 3 Running Myths That Hold You Back, we should be careful not to significantly and concurrently increase both training volume and intensity to reduce injury risk. Please note that I decreased the climbing and descending across the 3 weeks to offset the mileage increase, therefore managing cumulative running stress. I did add a couple of short, simple, and light VO2 max workouts, 10 by 100 meters on Tuesday and 8 by 200 meters on Friday. You ask, why should a trail and ultra runner incorporate short VO2 max workouts in their training plan? As mentioned in my video, How to Improve VO2 Max and Lactate Threshold for Runners, lactate threshold workouts are more important for ultra runners, but VO2 max workouts are necessary because our VO2 max limits our lactate threshold. And finally, to complete week 6 of the second training block, I came back down in mileage to 40 miles, in part due to a 3-day business trip, and in part to be ready for the next training block. Key workouts were a 16 by 200 meter workout on Friday, which is double the repeats from the prior week, and a 19-mile long run on Sunday. The overarching goal for the third training block is to continue focusing on the foundational elements of trail and ultra running to enable me to both run farther and faster. These include technical trail running, climbing, descending, and time on feet, and I'll add in speed and strength. The third 6-week training block alternates hard and down weeks. Targets for hard weeks are about 60 miles or 97 kilometers, with about 5,000 feet or 1,500 meters of vertical gain and somewhere around 10 hours of time on feet. I'd also like to include 2 lactate threshold and VO2 max workouts and 2 strength sessions. Targets for down weeks are lower across the board. Last but not least, I'm building out my 2024 race calendar. As previously mentioned, I'm registered for the Trail Verbier St. Bernard by UTMB on July 5th, 2024. The approximately 87 miles or 140 kilometers ultramarathon starts and ends in Verbier, Switzerland, and is one of the most challenging mountain ultras, with 30,500 feet or 9,300 meters of vertical ascent and descent. Completing this race would build my UTMB index for the 100-mile category and earn 4 stones towards the UTMB lottery. I'm stoked to add a spring ultramarathon. I've just registered for the 100-mile Canyon Endurance Run by UTMB on April 26, 2024. It will be my first ultra race towards my hopeful UTMB preparation and qualification. And with about 17,000 feet, or 5,200 meters vertical gain, is more runnable than the Trail Verbier or the UTMB. Therefore, a good race to start my UTMB race journey. There are two added bonuses that motivate me even more. The Canyon Ultra is located in Auburn, California, which is the finish of the iconic Western States 100 and covers some of the toughest sections of the Western States Trail. In addition, the Canyons has been designated as the UTMB America's Major, which means finishers will be awarded double the 4 stones. So 8 stones are on offer, and top 10 males and females, as well as age group winners, will auto-qualify for UTMB. I hope you enjoyed the UTMB Training Block 2 update, and I would appreciate if you give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for further UTMB and other training updates and tips, as well as race info. Thank you, and see you in the next one.